Thank you for tuning in to Adventures on a Tabletop again. We are going to be playing Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on a Cursed Island. Adventures on a Cursed Island is an excellent cooperative game. It's a worker placement game, which you play a bunch of castaways upon this island. The game itself is very, very thematic. I really enjoy it. You truly feel like you're on this island and you're just trying to survive. It has many different scenarios. We will be doing the Castaways Scenario, which is the first one. The game is very thematic. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite cooperative games. It's a good game. Let's jump right into this and let's see how well we can do on this cursed island. Okay, welcome to Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on the Cursed Island. We are playing the Castaways Scenario. It plays in 12 rounds. For me to win this scenario, I need to be able to stockpile this much wood, and I have to know how to use the fire. We are playing the one-player version, so I selected the carpenter, and I'm also allowed to have the dog and Friday to join me. Okay, so we are at the beginning of the first round. Normally, the first thing you do at each round is you would draw an event card. But since this is the first one, we actually ignore it. Instead, we move to the morale phase. When you play by yourself, you first adjust this by one level, and then you resolve it. So now we get one determination token, which the carpenter will take. Now we move on to the production phase. Our camp tile is right here, so we have to produce resources from that tile. It'll give us one piece of wood and one piece of food. Now we go on to the action phase. The carpenter and the dog are going to explore, and the carpenter and Friday are also going to come down here to get the wrecked lifeboat. Since we brought two pawns here, we do not have to roll the dice. And we find a river. We can now mark all the invention cards that have the river as a prerequisite. At this river, we found a beast for the hunting deck, and we find 3 discovery tokens. With the discovery tokens, I found some wood, I found some extra help for building something, and if I have weapons, I get a piece of fur and some food. The wood has to be placed up here since I can't use it this round if I wanted to. That was everything we needed to do with the exploration action, so let's move on to the other action. So we have the carpenter and Friday had came down here to get the wrecked lifeboats. Since we brought 2 people, we get 2 pieces of wood, which would also be placed up here. We have resolved all the actions, so we move on to the weather phase. But since it's this early in the scenario, we don't have to roll any of these dice. Now we move on to the night phase. I have to eat 1 piece of food, so let's take away that. Now, the dog nor Friday, they don't have to eat, so we're okay with that. I have no food left, so nothing's going to spoil. During the night phase, we could decide to move the camp if we want to. I think we will, even though we're not going to get wood during the next production phase, but it makes it a little bit easier to explore the island. I don't need to pass the first player token since I'm the only player. Since we have not built a shelter yet, we have to take a wound. Let's move this up to the next round, and let's begin round 2. So at the beginning of round 2, I will have to draw an event card. And we found this card, Searching for a New Path. After the hurricane, walking through the woods is extremely dangerous. It has this little book symbol, which in this scenario it has no effect. It then says, place one of these tokens on the exploration action field. During the next exploration action, you have to re-roll 1 result. Meaning if we get a success on the die, we have to re-roll it. So we will place this right here. The card now comes right here. If there were a card right here, that would be pushed to the left, but we don't have one because we resolved it last round. Okay, now we're back to the morale phase. Let's move it up 1 more space and resolve it. I get 2 determination tokens this round. Now we're in the production phase. Since we moved our camp tile over here, I'm not going to collect any wood this round, but I'm going to collect food still. Okay, now we have the action phase. I'm going to go ahead and turn in this guy to get an extra pawn for building this turn. And with that extra guy, we're going to come and try to build the shelter. Well, in fact, we're not going to try. We are going to build the shelter. So Friday and the extra pawn are coming to build the shelter. Now we're going to do an exploration action here with the dog. And then on this tile, we're going to try to gather some wood. Okay, over here we got Friday and the extra builder to help build the shelter. So we successfully built that, and it required 2 wood or 1 piece of fur. So let's get rid of our wood. And now we can flip this over. Now we have a shelter. Now we can resolve the exploration action. We're not going to have to roll dice because I brought the dog along. Therefore, that token I placed down at the beginning of this round will not take effect. And we have found another river. We've also found another discovery token and this little totem statue. Much like the book, in this scenario, that totem pole has no effect. As for the discovery token, we found a treasure. The treasure also goes up here because we might get an item that we can't use until the end of the action phase. So over here, the carpenter is going to have to gather wood by himself, so he's going to have to roll those dice. The carpenter fails, but he gets 2 determination tokens. Okay, that's the end of the action round, so we could bring this down, and now we could resolve it to try to get a treasure. And what exactly did we find? We find an old map. It says each player gets a determination token. Well, that's pretty useful, I suppose. The only thing is I don't think that counts Friday, so I think it's just the carpenter. Okay, moving on to the weather phase. Still in the second round, we don't have to resolve these dice, so nothing happens. The night phase, I eat my piece of food. I think during the night phase, we're going to move the camp again. Now, if I had any walls or the roof, I would lose it by half, but we haven't built that, so we're fine. Okay, we don't have any food that spoils, nor do I take any wounds because I'm not sleeping out in the open. So let's move this to the next round. It's time for another event card. We have found a raging river. The island is not a nice place for you. It has this little icon right here, which means next time I do a gather and resource action, whether or not I roll the dice, I'm going to have to resolve an adventure card. Now it says, during the production phase of this round, you get only half the amount of resources rounded down. And we place the card here so the other one slides over. Okay, the morale phase, let's move this up. Now I can either get 2 determination tokens or I can heal a wound. I think I'm actually going to heal a wound. This will bring the carpenter back up to full life. Now for the production phase, I'm going to get 1 piece of wood and 1 piece of food, but because of the event card said I get half of that rounded down, I actually get nothing this round, which is not very good for us. Okay, so for actions this round, I should probably find some food, otherwise I'm going to not eat on my night phase, and I'm going to take some wounds for that, so I think we're going to go over here and get some food. I'm going to use my hammer and nails to get myself an extra build action this turn. So Friday and the extra builder, they're going to come over here and try to build the roof. And the carpenter and the dog are going to explore. Okay, so we don't have to roll dice, and I have exactly enough wood to build that roof. So the roof level is now level 1. I can place a marker to signify that. The dog and the carpenter have successfully explored this tile, and we found the grasslands. So we now can mark a prerequisite for any adventure cards that have that symbol on it. And it looks like it's just these 3. The grasslands is okay, but we actually really need to find the mountains so we can build the fire. And we have also found another discovery token. And we found weapons +1, which is useful. This also comes up here, because we can't use it for anything during this action phase. Now we have the carpenter by himself. He's gathering some food over here, so we have to roll those dice. he's failed. He gets 2 determination tokens, and we have to resolve an adventure card, which we would have done anyway. So we don't have to resolve 2 adventure cards because we had that token on there. We only have to resolve 1. And we found End of Source. The resources you want to gather is the last of its source. Cover the source you are trying to gather from with the black cube to indicate that it's exhausted, which means we can never gather food from that resource or from that tile again. Well, I guess that's not the worst thing to happen to us, but it's I guess it's not too bad. Okay, that was all of our actions. We're still in the 3rd round, so we don't have to worry about rolling these dice. The next round, we're going to have to roll one orange dice, but that's okay. I think we should be okay with that. So we can bring this down now, and we can place this right here to signify we have weapons 1. Okay, the carpenter is going to have to take 2 wounds because he didn't eat anything that night. Okay, we're not going to move the camp, and we have no food to spoil, so let's move on to the 4th round. As I mentioned earlier, at the end of in the weather phase, we're going to have to roll that orange die, so let's hopefully that's not too bad for us. Now let's draw an event card. We have came upon a bear. A bear finds your camp and destroys it. Put a black cube on the arranging the camp action field. During the next arranging the camp, you discard that black cube instead of getting +2 determination and morale. So that's actually not too bad. As I said before, that's not the worst thing that could have happened to us, so I can live with that. Unfortunately, we're going to have to place that bear card down here, and it's going to push this other event off the board, so we're going to have to resolve this action right down here now. Okay, because we have ignored that, now we have to resolve this. It says I need to place a green and a silver adventure token on the corresponding decks to signify that we're going to have to draw those cards next time we take those actions. Well, the morale cannot go up any further, so I'm going to either take 2 determination or heal 1. I'm going to heal since I think we have plenty of determination tokens. The production phase is going to give us 1 piece of food and 1 piece of wood. But instead of placing the wood here, I'm actually going to put it in my stockpile, because I can only place this wood over here before my action phase, so I'm going to place 1 right here. Okay, let's do some more actions. We still need to find the mountains, so let's do another exploration action over here with the dog. Well, there's really not too much I could do this round. I can't resolve any of these event cards down here because I don't have a shovel. So I think we're going to have Friday, he's going to go gather some wood. And I think the carpenter is going to get some food for us. Now, I know I don't need that food, but I'm doing it just in case if I roll 1 extra rain cloud than I need, because my roof is at 1. If I roll 2, I'm going to have to lose a piece of wood and some food. And this is just as a precautionary, so I have some extra food. So we can resolve this one because we have the dog with us. And we found some hills. So we can mark the prerequisite for the hills on the invention cards. And another discovery token. And we found this one, which is wall +1. Well, that's pretty useful, I suppose. And we still have to resolve an adventure card because of the token. And we found a carcass. You have found a dead goat, but you have no idea how it died. We can either discard this card, or we can get 2 food and some fur, and shuffle this into the event deck. I think we are going to take the food and the fur. And we will shuffle this into the event deck. Now here's the tricky thing. If I decide to take Friday to go do gathering wood, he's going to take a wound automatically because we have to resolve that adventure token. And since he cannot take adventures, he takes a wound for it. So if I take him there, he'll take a wound. Or I could take the carpenter to do it first. And maybe he'll get an event card or adventure card. So I think we're going to have Friday do it, because I think a wound's not too terribly bad for him. Okay, he did not gather his wood, but we got 2 determination tokens, and he has this in conjunction with his other one, so I believe he takes 2 wounds from that. But he has gained those 2 determination tokens, so I could turn those in, and he could reroll any action die once. I think we're actually going to do that. And I think we're going to reroll this die. Okay, now we got it. It's successful. But he does take 2 wounds from that, so I could live with that. That's okay. Now let's see if the carpenter can find some food. Oh, that was a great roll. He doesn't take a wound. He doesn't have to resolve an adventure card. Well, I'm sorry, yes he does. He has to resolve an adventure card, because we have that token. But he does find some food for us. And he found shortage. It looks like it's the last time you will be here. Take 1 additional cube of the resource you are gathering, even if the action is unsuccessful, and cover it with the source with black to indicate that it's exhausted. Well, that's 2 for 2 in the food gathering that we've exhausted. Good thing it's not really a commodity for this scenario. Okay, well that was all of our actions. Now we have to resolve the weather die. And it's only that orange die. And we found a rain cloud, which we're fine because our roof was at level 1, so nothing happens to us. Okay, during the night phase, I'm going to eat a piece of food, and then the other 2 spoil because they are non-perishable, or they are perishable food. And let's move the marker. Okay, event card time. And we found some cold rain. Everything is wet and cold. You missed the sun. So we're going to have to place that green token on the exploration action again. And we have to place a weather, or a cloud token in the weather space, indicating that regardless of what we roll on the orange die, it's going to add a rain cloud on top of that. Well, I guess that's a little bit bad. And now this card gets shoved off, because I didn't have the shovel, I couldn't work on that one. And I get nothing during my production phase this round. Hey, at least we're still doing pretty well on the morale, so he's going to heal 1 of his wounds back. Well, we skipped the production phase, so let's move directly onto the action phase. The dog and the carpenter are going to explore right here. Okay, and Friday and the carpenter are going to come over here and they are going to build the roof up by 1. So we could either use 2 pieces of wood or 1 piece of fur. So we did find that fur. We will just use that over the wood. And we have our next tile. So 2 things need to happen here, which are very important for us. We need to find the mountains, and we need to find discovery tokens with food on them, hopefully. Anything's possible, I suppose. Let's see what we get. Well, I found the mountain. That's good for us. We get another beast for the hunting deck. I found shelter. If I needed one, I could move it over there. Or if I didn't have one, I could stay in that shelter, which we're not going to. And I found 1 discovery token. Well, it was not food, but it was some wood for us, which is equally as useful, I suppose. Okay, now we could build the roof up by 1 more point. So it's now at roof level 2, and let's get rid of our fur. Okay, the weather phase. We have a winter cloud. Now what this means is I have to automatically lose 1 piece of wood to keep warm. Now we count up every rain cloud that we have, including that one. So this, mixed with the one that we had in there, gives us 2 rain clouds against our roof of 2, so we're fine on that one. The carpenter takes 2 wounds from not eating. And let's move the round track to round 6. And we're not doing too well. I only have 1 piece of wood for my stockpile, and I have not even built the fire yet. Maybe I can turn it around, hopefully. Moving on, let's draw an event card. And we came upon night howling. A terrifying howl came from the jungle all night long. We have the book symbol, which has no effect. And we need to place 1 of these red tokens next to the hunting deck. Which means next time we do a hunting action, we add 1 to the beast's strength. Well, since we have ignored this card, it's going to get pushed off. And now we must discard, each player must discard a determination token, and the morale track is going to move one space to the left. So let's move this down. And now it's the morale phase, so we can move this back up. So really that had almost no effect on us. I could choose to heal one or take 2 determination tokens. I'm going to go ahead and heal. Okay, and on the production phase, we get another piece of food and some more wood. And we have the action phase now. I think we're going to use the last of our hammer and nails. And I'm going to come over here and build this hatchet. It's a scenario-specific invention. Essentially, we get to place a +1 wood token on our camp tile, which gives us an extra piece of wood during the production phase, which is extremely useful. As for the carpenter, he's going to try to get some more wood for us so we can get more to our stockpile. So he's going to gather some wood right here and some wood right over here. And he may not get any at all, but at least we'll try. Okay, let's see if the carpenter can find some wood. That's a great roll. He does. He doesn't take any injuries. He doesn't have to resolve an adventure card, so he gets some wood for us. Now let's see if we can do that again. Well, not bad. We still got the wood, but now we have to resolve an adventure card. Okay, we found some mushrooms. You have found some mushrooms on your way back to the camp. We can either discard this card and get 1 piece of food per player, and then shuffle into the event deck. Now, when I have these cards that have the double events, I don't read this one until I actually draw it out of the event deck, because I think it's more thematic and interesting not to know what happens. But we really don't need the food, so we're just going to go ahead and discard the mushrooms. Okay, we don't need to roll anything for this one because we have the support character, and we built the hatchet. And we just place it right over here. So this means we're going to get an extra piece of wood during the production phase. Okay, let's see what type of weather we're going to have this evening. This is going to be the last round in which I only have to resolve the orange die. And we have 1 winter cloud, so that means I'm going to have to lose a piece of wood right off the bat. And now we would count all the clouds, including this one for the rain clouds. We only have 1, and the roof is at level 2, so we're okay with that one. Okay, and I eat my food. And let's move on to round 7. Let's see what awaits us now. Alright, we found some high water. The river has overflown nearby. It's dangerous for the camp. We have to place one of these on the gathering resources action. And now we have to place a green one on the exploration action, which we already had one there, so that doesn't really affect us. However, we will be affected by this card because I've ignored that one, just because I didn't have the shovel, and I didn't really think the shovel is particularly useful for this scenario. So we just have to place... We essentially just have to place a weather cloud in the weather space. Not too bad, though. Okay, and this one I think I'm going to take 2 determination tokens. Not that I really need them. The production phase yields us 2 pieces of wood and 1 piece of food. So I'm actually going to take 2 of these pieces of wood and place them in our stockpile, which is seemingly pretty low at the moment. Now I can't place any more because I can only fill as many as I can per column that I'm in. So next round I could put up to 3 if I wanted to. Okay, in this round we're going to use the carpenter's, one of his abilities. He's got the economical construction. He essentially discards 2 determination tokens, and anything that has a wood cost, it requires 1 less. So we're going to go ahead and use that one this round. By doing that, we're going to have the carpenter's going to come over here and try to improve their roof by 1 level. As for Friday, he's going to come over here and work on this one. It needs 1 person and wood or a shovel, so we don't have the shovel, but we have the wood. The reason why I want to do this one is it has a pretty nasty clause if we ignore it. I have to discard all resources, and there's no production phase, which could be really devastating for me. So we're gonna have him go work on this one. Okay, let's see if we find some wood. Okay, we found some wood, and we have to resolve an adventure card now, which we had to do anyway. And we find a new flock. When you get to the place, you see a new flock. We place a +1 food on this tile where we were gathering resources. Starting next round, each time that you gather or produce food from this tile, you get 1 extra food. Shuffle into the event deck. Which I don't think we'll ever have to use because, well, I get plenty of food for my camp anyway. Not to mention that my food was exhausted anyway, but whatever, that's okay. Now let's see if he could build that roof. He does, he gets it. Then we have another adventure. Okay, it says, in a hurry, you get careless in your haste. I can either discard this card, or I could draw 2 discovery tokens and then shuffle this into the event deck. Well, let's draw 2 discovery tokens. Those are always very useful. Okay, we find this one, which is if you have the pot, you get the cure, which we don't have. And this one, we have to look at the scenario guide to see what that one does. It looks like it's a pirate saber. We get +1 weapons. Okay, so let's finish this one off. I have to spend 1 piece of wood, which is okay. And this one goes away. He gets 2 determination tokens also. Now Friday, he can turn in 2 determination tokens to re-roll any action dice once, so that's not too bad for him. Okay, that's not too bad. We have this one, so that makes us discard 1 piece of wood, and then we count every cloud that we have. So we have 3 plus the one that we have in the weather space. So I have 4 rain clouds. The roof is at level 3, so I'm going to have to lose 1 piece of food and 1 piece of wood. And he takes 2 wounds from not eating. And let's move on to the next round. Do you think I'm going to be able to get this much wood? I don't know. This might be cutting a little bit too close. We'll see what we can do. We find the cold area. Predators cleaned the area. It will be hard to find food today. We place this one back on the gathering resources. It says, during the production phase of this round, you get no food. That's pretty nasty, I suppose. As for this one, I'm going to heal again. Well, we're not getting any food this round, but we're getting more wood, so 2 pieces of wood is okay. And that wood we're putting directly into the stockpile. So we need to gather some more wood because if we stay at this pace, we're not going to have enough to win the game. So the carpenter is going to go get some wood over here, and he's going to get some wood right here. And Friday's going to do plentiful hunting. It needs 2 weapons. We discard the card and get 2 food, so that'll be enough food for us tonight. Okay, did we find some wood? We did. And we have an adventure card. And we came upon an unexpected discovery. You can't believe you found something. We need to draw a discovery token. And we find this one. And it looks like it's some oil. Only used for the pile, we get 2 pieces of wood. That's actually very useful for us. Alright, can we do that again? Oh, that's actually even better. We got some wood. We have no wounds, no adventure. And Friday goes out hunting, and we get 2 pieces of food. Okay, how's the weather looking? Okay, so we lose 1 piece of wood, and the wall goes down by 1. And we have 3 rain clouds, which we're fine. I eat my 1 piece of food, and this other food's going to spoil, so let's get rid of that one. Oh, we've seen this card before, so that can't be good for us. And it's a crack. It says, next time, work more carefully. The wall goes down by 1, which it's at 0 now. I'm going to have to take a wound from that, and then we draw another event card. It's all gone. The predators have found new prey. The area becomes dangerous. Cover all sources on the tile with the +1 with the black one to indicate that they are exhausted. Draw another card. And we have another adventure card that's now an event card. It's diarrhea. The goat died because it felt sick, and now you are sick too. Each player takes a wound. We draw another card. Okay, we have Natural Dam Breaks. An unexpected flood destroys everything in its path. During the production phase of this round, you get +1 wood and no food. Put the green on the exploration action field. That's actually pretty useful, I suppose, because it gives us extra wood. So we gained 3 pieces of wood from this production phase. It's very useful. But we're going to put all of that into our stockpile. Okay, again, I think we're going to heal this round. And we're going to take the flask of rum to heal 1 more. The carpenter is going to discard 3 determination tokens to get himself a building pawn for this round. And he's going to come build the fire because we have not built it yet. The carpenter is also going to come gather some wood right here. And Friday's going to go beast hunting again. Did we get some wood? We did. That was perfect. Okay, and the carpenter is able to build the fire. That was one of the conditions we needed to win the game, so all we need now is the wood from the stockpile. Okay, we have 2 weapons and the pawn here, so we discard this card and get a determination token. Okay, we have 3 rain clouds, which is fine. We don't have anything from this die, so that's actually pretty good. We don't lose any wood or food. And the carpenter will not be eating this night, so he takes 2 wounds. Now, I took that flask of rum so that he wouldn't skip over this morale track. That would mean his morale goes down by 1, but it didn't affect us because he took the flask of rum. Round 10! Okay, we have an argument. That's never good. You were all tired and exhausted. Late at night you had a stupid argument. This is bad. This round, no actions can be taken with pawns of 2 different players. Discard this card, which I don't think that's correct. Because if we had to discard this card, we wouldn't be able to resolve the agreement. So we're going to place this as normal. I think we're going to heal again. I don't need any more determination tokens. I'm getting 1 piece of food and 2 pieces of wood. And all that wood is coming over here. So we need 1 piece of wood left, and then we win the game. Okay, let's have the carpenter and Friday come gather wood right here. And then the carpenter's going to go get wood right here. At least we're guaranteed to get some wood. Okay, does the carpenter find wood? He does. Yeah, that's an excellent roll for us. Now we've gathered all the wood we need, plus some more. Let's hope we don't lose it to the weather. Okay, we lose 1 piece of wood, which is fine. And then we have 3 clouds to count together, and the roof is still fine, so we're okay there. And we move on to round 11. And it's a fire! Late at night, a fire started in the woods. During the production phase of this round, you get no wood. Well, I guess it's good we found that wood from last round. Okay, so we push this over, and this one's actually nasty for us. Okay, this is what we have to do. It says, if possible, turn up to 2 item cards face up to the invention side and cancel their effects. Unfortunately, the only one we have is fire, so we negate this now. We have to learn how to build the fire again. Well, we can still manage to get through this, so let's go ahead and heal 1. I'm only going to get food this round, which is okay. So that 1 piece of wood I have left is going into our stockpile. So we've completed the stockpile. As soon as we build that fire again, we've won the game. Well, I guess we should do this. I couldn't imagine why we would not. Let's bring Friday and the carpenter to build the fire. And just for fun, we're going to have the carpenters going to heal 1. Okay, let's resolve the actions, and we built the fire. There's no need to delay. Let's go ahead and build the fire and win the game. Well, that's the game for us. We have completed the objectives. We have saved up enough wood, and we have built the fire. So we have completed the Castaways Scenario. Whew, that was pretty close. We almost lost that, but we squeaked a win in almost on the last round, which that's good. So yeah, that's Robinson Crusoe: Adventures on the Cursed Island. I hope you enjoyed it. We played the Castaways Scenario. If you've forgotten that for some reason, that was the first one. But there's 5 other ones in this base game if you wanted. But they each get progressively harder as you go along. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's one of my favorite games. So, thank you for tuning into Adventures on a Tabletop. Come back next time when we will play another game and go on another adventure.